When body and mind grow weak, the self gathers in all the powers of life and descends with them into the heart. As prana leaves the eye, it ceases to see. He is becoming one, say the wise. He does not see, he is becoming one. He no longer hears, he is becoming one. He no longer speaks, or tastes, or smells, or thinks, or knows. By the light of the heart, the self leaves the body by one of its gates, and when he leaves, prana follows, and with it all the vital powers of the body. He who is dying merges in consciousness, and thus consciousness accompanies him when he departs. Along with the impressions of all that he has done, experienced, and known, as a caterpillar, having come to the end of one blade of grass, draws itself together and reaches out for the next. So the self, having come to the end of one life and dispelled all ignorance, gathers in his faculties and reaches out from the old body to a new. As a goldsmith fashions an old ornament into a new and more beautiful one, so the self, having reached the end of the last life and dispelled all ignorance, makes for himself a new, more beautiful shape like that of the devas or other celestial beings. The self is indeed Brahman, but through ignorance, people identify it with intellect, mind, senses, passions, and the elements of earth, water, air, space, and fire. This is why the self is said to consist of this and that and appears to be everything. As a person acts, so he can becomes in life. Those who do good become good. Those who do harm become bad. Good deeds make one pure. Bad deeds make one impure. You are what you're deep. Driving desire is, as your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. We live in accordance with our deep. Driving desire, it is this desire at the time of death that determines what our next life will be. We will come back to earth to work out the satisfaction of that desire, but not those who are free from desires. They are free because all their desires have found fulfillment in the self. They do not die like the others, but realizing Brahman, they merge in Brahman. So it is said, when all the desires that surge in the heart are renounced, the mortal becomes immortal. When all the knots that strangle the heart are loosened, the mortal becomes immortal here in this very life. As the skin of a snake is slowed onto an anthill, so does the mortal body fall. But the self, freed from the body, merges in Brahman, infinite life, eternal light.